Hello again, my friends. It is I, your host, Bloody Bill Vox. And we are, once again, live here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillVox with another episode of WWE 2K23 Fantasy Warfare. It is always a wild ride when we take some of the legends of the past, the stars of the present and the future, and we make them collide in WWE 2K23. So without further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and tell you exactly what we have in store this week as we take things down to the ring for Fantasy Warfare with our 6 action-packed matches. Coming up first this week in tag team action, our opening contest will see FTR go up against the Outsiders. And then in our second match of the week, it will be a wild affair as Eddie Kingston goes one-on-one with Cactus Jack. Moving along in the action this week, it will be a continuation of the Flair and Rhodes rivalry as Ric Flair goes up against Cody Rhodes. Our fourth match of the week will be a last man standing match between two of the hardest hitters in all of pro wrestling history, Stan Hansen and Gunther. Our fifth match of the week will be a collision of WWE Hall of Famers as 2023 inductee the Great Muta goes one-on-one with the Undertaker, the headliner of the 2022 class. And then in our main event of the week, it will be the AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter going one-on-one with the 9th wonder of the world, Chyna. And with that, let's take it on down to ringside for our opening contest of the week. Welcome down to ringside, everybody, for our opening contest of the week here this week on Fantasy Warfare. Tag team action coming at you. Here comes the first team of our tag team attraction. It's Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, the Outsiders, representing the New World Order. Here this week on Fantasy Warfare.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 608 pounds, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, the Outsiders.
Scott Hall and Kevin Nash making their way out to the ring to the original tune that they used before the days of the NWO. A little bit of throwback here this week in Fantasy Warfare as they get ready to do battle with the current and brand new AEW World Tag Team Champions. That would be Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, FTR. They'll be making their way out to the ring coming up in just a few moments. As we just went over a few moments ago, we have an exciting show this week here on Fantasy Warfare. 6 action-packed matches as we always do. And of course, don't forget about the bonus matchup that we make available every Monday. This past week, it was Santos Escobar going one-on-one with Jushin Thunder Liger. And this coming week, well, we'll tell you about that in a moment.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 457 pounds.
Well, we'll tell you about that. We'll tell you about these guys first because it's Cash Wheeler, it's Dax Harwood, it's FTR. But this coming week, this coming Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillVox, we'll post another bonus matchup, the dark match from tonight's show. It will be the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. It's funny, we got the 9th wonder of the world in the main event tonight, but in the dark match earlier tonight, it was the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant, going one-on-one with the mighty Yokozuna. That match will be available this coming Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillVox. There you have it. The opening bell has rung. And depending on what story you want to believe, either the referee glitch is still running wild in my WWE 2K23, or John Cena has signed an exclusive contract to be the official referee of Fantasy Warfare because you can't see him. Spike pile driver right away, starting things off in this tag team contest between the Outsiders and FTR. FTR wasting no time going after Kevin Nash, looking to drive his skull into his sternum. Cover over in the outsider corner. Scott Hall making no movement on that one. I guess he had a little bit of faith in Kevin Nash. Scoop slam by Harwood. Dax Harwood making some news recently by stating that he felt a dream match for the upcoming AEW Stadium show in London, England. A dream match that he feels could help sell the venue out would be CM Punk and FTR versus The Elite. I, for one, happen to agree that a match of that magnitude, especially what happened, considering what happened last year at All Out, or Brawl Out as it has been so affectionately called, considering what happened there, to have The Elite and CM Punk in the same match at the same time would certainly sell some tickets, and I would imagine that they would also sell some tickets in a market that AEW never really has traveled to before. Cash Wheeler drops Kevin Nash. Scott Hall and Harwood are fighting on the floor. But FTR has not let up since the opening bell in this one. Kevin Nash kicks out at the count of 2. Oh my goodness! Figured I had a quick moment to take a sip of a beverage there, clear my throat, and Mr. Wheeler decided to show off his Lucha Libre skills, taking out Kevin Nash there. Kevin Nash now trying to get back on the offense. He has been beaten and brutalized so far in this contest. Dax Harwood heads down to the floor to try and continue it, but Kevin Nash cuts him off, drops him down on the floor. Kevin Nash back in the ring at the count of 7. Oh my! Kevin Nash came flying with a drop kick right as Wheeler had dropped Scott Hall. Kevin Nash sent off the ropes, drop toe hold by Wheeler. Now Wheeler is waiting on Kevin Nash to get up to his feet. Code breaker! Code breaker, code breaker. Kevin Nash is down for the pin, and that is it. Wow, that one was over quick. I mean, Kevin Nash was basically isolated from the opening bell by FTR. It started with that right there, that spike pile driver by FTR in the opening moments, and then the code breaker puts him away. We need 2 looks at it. But coming up next, everybody, will be an Extreme Rules match. It will be the Mad King, Eddie Kingston, going one-on-one with Cactus Jack. And that match is coming up next here on Fantasy Warfare. Welcome back down to ringside, everybody. It is now time for what should be a violent affair between 2 of the most violent.
Is an Extreme Rules match. Making his way to the ring from Yonkers, New York, weighing in at 257 pounds, Eddie King.
The Mad King, Eddie Kingston, making his way out to the ring here this week in Miami, Florida for an Extreme Rules matchup with Cactus Jack. Set to be one hell of a barn burner. Eddie Kingston, one of the most violent and ruthless individuals in all of wrestling, and of course we know the story of Cactus Jack. Exploding ring, barbed wire, death match, thumbtack, gusset plates, glasses. Not actual eyeglasses, but, you know, pieces of glass everywhere. And here this week at Fantasy Warfare, these 2 are going to be permitted to beat the ever-living hell out of each other, with the only parameter being that they must finish the match in the ring. Other than that, anything goes in this one.
And his opponent, from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing in at 287 pounds.
There you see Cactus Jack making his way out to the ring here this week on Fantasy Warfare. Cactus Jack, no stranger to Fantasy Warfare, quite the regular in Season 1. If for no other reason other than he was in the intro. One of the faces of the intro video from Season 1. But here making a presence already in Season 2, Episode 2. of WWE 2K23 Fantasy Warfare. And now we are about to get ready and underway. Here we go. Extreme Rules, Cactus Jack and Eddie Kingston, our second match of the week. Cactus taking a moment to do some stomping in the corner, and Eddie Kingston made him pay for it by punching him right in the mouth. Then he sets him up. Thought he was going for an electric chair drop, but instead he just dropped him down and hit him in the back of the head with a forearm. Nice ruse by Kingston to fool Cactus Jack into thinking something else was going on. And now Kingston has a kendo stick. It looks like we're going to take things to the extreme very early in this contest. Saito suplex by Eddie Kingston on Cactus Jack. Referee, we only get a count of one on that one. Kingston springboard forearm shot to the top of the skull of Cactus Jack. Drops down the hardcore legend right to the mat. Now Kingston working over Cactus Jack with overhead punches, chops, and then that throat thrust drops him to the mat. But Cactus Jack is quickly back up to his feet, taking the control, bringing Kingston over to the ropes. And now using the top rope to his advantage to choke Kingston. Kingston having the airways closed off for just a quick moment by Cactus Jack. And then he gets a little more damage to him one more time as Jack drops him down across the top rope. And now Cactus Jack going to work other parts of the body before once again focusing on the airways of Eddie Kingston. Cactus Jack was trying to pick up the kendo stick that Eddie Kingston brought into the ring, but it was not to be. It looks like that kendo stick has rolled out to the floor. Cactus Jack down into the cover, just like when Kingston tried. We only get a 1 count. Nice hip toss by Cactus Jack, takes Kingston down, and now Cactus Jack out to the floor. He's going after the ring steps, but Kingston is quickly there to grab him. I was going to say, I know this one. He did it again. He got him up in the electric chair drop setup and then throws Foley down, hits him in the back of the head with a forearm shot, and now continuing that attack on the floor. It is anything goes in this one. Extreme Rules. The only caveat is that the final fall must occur in the ring. But otherwise, these guys are free to brawl each and every place they want to brawl all throughout the Fantasy Warfare arena here in Miami. That's right, we buy the naming rights to the building for each show. One-time licensing fee. It was probably something like the Quicken Loans Arena or the H&R Block Center. But for tonight, it's the Fantasy Warfare Arena. That's right, we shell out the big bucks. We buy the damn building literally for the night. Nice shoulder breaker by Cactus Jack on the floor. And I thought he was going for the mandible claw. Looked like he might have actually been going for a choke slam on the floor, but it was not happening, says Eddie Kingston. Kingston just leveled Foley with 2 different shots with the knee right to the chest, and now kicking at the back of the leg. Thought Foley had a reversal attempt on that one, but Kingston actually hitting that reverse suplex on Cactus Jack on the outside of the ring. And now Kingston circling the outside, following Cactus Jack back into the ring, but he quickly goes back out to the floor, and he is looking under the ring. What's he got? Grabs a baseball bat. That's what he's got. A baseball bat shot 2-3 times to Mick Foley. Down into the cover goes Kingston, and we only get a count of 2. Kingston once again picks up the baseball bat. And there's the mandible claw. Thought we were seeing it a few moments ago, but we're seeing it right there. Foley with the cover out of the mandible claw, and we only get 2. Mick Foley now taunting Kingston with a bat before leveling him in the lower spine with it. Foley into the cover. We get a count 1, and that's all we get is the count 1. Kingston springs up to his feet. Cactus Jack meets him there. Irish whip sends him off the opposite side. Kingston ducks that one, misses a second shot, does Cactus Jack. He caught an elbow. He returns with a knee to the gut. Irish whip sends Kingston into the corner. Cactus Jack has that bat again. Oh, right to the bridge. Right to the bridge of the nose. Kingston quickly moves out of the way that time, but he doesn't he doesn't move out of the way that third time. Moved out of the way the fourth. Foley drops the bat. Kingston sent him off with an Irish whip. They collide. Classic WWE 2K on that one. Before Kingston dropped Foley with the kitchen sink. And now both men have headed out to the floor. Kingston is grabbing a ladder. Foley has a steel chair. Oh, and Kingston gets leveled with the chair. And now Mick Foley is laying a beat down on Eddie Kingston. Oh, Foley into the ladder. Kingston now puts Foley on the ladder. What are we going to see out of these two here? Foley is down. Oh my goodness. Kingston just flew over the top rope and down to the floor, taking out Mick Foley. Cactus Jack, whatever you want to call it. This has been a wild affair so far here between Eddie Kingston and Cactus Jack. Kingston now wielding that kendo stick, going after Cactus Jack and just beating him down relentlessly with it. Oh, jeez. Kendo stick exploding on Eddie Kingston. Foley throwing the steel steps down and now going back after Eddie Kingston some more, but Kingston counters and hits Foley with the kitchen sink. Kingston with a steel chair goes right after Foley again, returning some of the shots that Foley laid on Kingston just a few moments ago before dropping both legs into the crotch of Cactus Jack. There are shards of weapons everywhere, broken chairs, steel steps everywhere. These two have beaten the living hell out of each other, and it's only our second match of the week. Kingston out to the floor with that baseball bat again, continuing the assault on Foley. But Cactus, he stops it, sends him into the ring. Cactus Jack coming after Kingston. He grabs him. Cactus pile driver. Drives him down into the canvas. Referee Cena is there. And we only get 2.5 on that one, as Eddie Kingston able to kick out at the very last moment. Foley waiting on Kingston to get up again. Headbutt by Cactus Jack on Eddie Kingston. What's Mick Foley going for now? He's got that baseball bat. Oh my goodness, to the top of the skull of Eddie Kingston. Cactus Jack down into the cover. We get 2, and that's still all we get. Cactus Jack treating Eddie Kingston like his name is Eddie Edwards and he's Sammy Callahan. And now we got Cactus Jack with the mandible claw. We got a cover. And we get 3. Cactus Jack utilizing the mandible claw to paralyze Eddie Kingston and get the 1-2-3 here in this Extreme Rules match this week on Fantasy Warfare. What a contest. What an effort by both men to come out on top. But in the end, it's Cactus Jack. Coming up next, it will be a continuation of the Rhodes and Flair rivalry inside of a steel cage, as the Nature Boy Ric Flair goes one-on-one with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Welcome back to Fantasy Warfare, everybody. It's now time for the latest in the Rhodes and Flair and Rhodes rivalry. Hot damn, maybe we'll talk better after the introduction.
Making his way to the ring from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 242 pounds, the Natural Boy.
The Natural Boy, Ric Flair. I see we still can't use the WWE superstars' names as our call names. Hot damn. But it's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, making his way to the ring for the latest chapter in the Flair and Rhodes rivalry. There we go, I learned how to talk. Flair and Rhodes rivalry here this week in Fantasy Warfare as the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, goes one-on-one with the son of a plumber, the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes.
Wrestling has winning.
And his opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes making his way out to the ring to a massive reaction here in Miami, Florida, for this week's edition of Fantasy Warfare as he gets ready to step inside the cold steel cage with the 16-time world champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Something his father did many times throughout his career, the legendary American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Well, tonight, the American Nightmare will seek to put a hurting on the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, inside the steel cage. You see it hanging above the venue here in Miami, the Fantasy Warfare Arena, because like we said, we bought it. It's ours for the night. I don't know what it was named before today. It'll go back to that tomorrow. But for today, it's the Fantasy Warfare Arena. As this one is officially underway, the bell rings, the cage match begins here between the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and Cody Rhodes. Flair with a shin breaker on Cody here, looking to immediately impede Cody's ability to walk and, more importantly, to climb. If you can't move around, that makes being in a steel cage match very tough. Nature Boy looking to get into that offensive string right away, but Cody Rhodes quickly back on the offense, driving the Nature Boy into the mat with a cover attempt. Only a 1 count there. Nice reverse suplex by Cody. Down into the cover on Flair. Flair kicks out before the referee even reaches the count of 2. Alabama slam attempt, could it be? It sure was. Alabama slam by Cody Rhodes, and now he starts working over the legs of the Nature Boy. And Cody looking to go for the escape here. Pinfall or submission or escape are the methods of victory in this one. Low blow by the Nature Boy, 100% legal here. As he gets down into the cover, we get 2 count out of the referee, and that's all we get is a 2 count as Cody is able to kick those legs out before the referee was able to reach 3 and award the victory to the Nature Boy. But now the Nature Boy is going to look to go for that submission victory, and there are no rope breaks in this one. So Cody must find a way to free himself without being able to use the ropes to his advantage, because if this were a regular match, he would have just been able to grab the ropes. Cody able to reverse it, breaking himself free, doing a little bit of damage to himself as well as Ric Flair. Flair now has Cody. Oh, driving that knee right into the lower spine of Cody Rhodes, down into the cover. We get 2, and that's all we get, as Cody is able to kick out before referee reached the count of 3. Cody has Flair up on the shoulders. What's he gonna do with him? Boom! Down into the top turnbuckle goes the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And now Cody Rhodes stomping away at the Nature Boy. Flair coming out of the corner. Thought he was going to come out fighting, but that was not the case. Not the case at all. Cody down into the cover on Rick. Only a count of 1. Nature Boy able to kick out before referee even reaches the count of 2. Flair thrown back first into the cage wall. That is the first use of the cage as a weapon we have seen so far in this cage match. Nice overhand chop by Cody, followed up by a second and a third. Cody up on the second rope, launches himself down into a splash across the lower back of the Nature Boy, rolling him over into the cover. Referee with a count of 1 and a count of 2, and that's again all we get. Got to applaud both of these men for going for the constant pin attempts in this cage match. Yes, escape is one of the methods of victory here, but as I've talked about many times, I hate escape as a cage match method. And we picked our cage style out of a hat for this one. We went modern. We had classic blue. We also put classic black in there. We put the scrap trap in the mix from last week, and literally I picked the cage match style for this contest out of a hat. Brilliant matchmaking going on here at Fantasy Warfare. Let me tell you, we pull that curtain back every once in a while, let you know a little bit. And I will tell you that this particular cage match was chosen at random. Got to take your biases out of it sometimes, my friends. I don't like escape, maybe these guys do. Uh-oh. Crossroads by Cody Rhodes on the Nature Boy into the cover, and Flair is able to kick out. I thought we had us a 3 count there, but Ric Flair said, no sir, no way, I am kicking out of your finishing hold. Flair resuming the work on the legs of Cody Rhodes. He would love nothing more than to notch another victory over a member of the Rhodes family. Flair has been in the ring with Dusty. He's been in the ring with Dustin. He has not been in the ring with Cody until tonight here in Fantasy Warfare, and what a victory it would be for not only Ric Flair, but really the whole Flair family. You know, Charlotte and Cody work together now, so if Rick beats Cody here, then Charlotte could, she could brag about that to Cody at work. Cody dropped down, throat first across the top rope. Ric Flair down into the cover. We get 2 on that one, and that's all we get is only a count of 2. Cody with a hard jaw shot to Ric Flair. Nice side suplex, drops the 16-time world champion on the back of his head as he struggled to get back up to his feet. Cody sends him off with an Irish whip. Nice kitchen sink. Drops, as we said, the 16-time world champion. Flair wiggles across. Oh, chop block. Drops Cody Rhodes down. Nice brain buster by Cody Rhodes, dropping the Nature Boy down. And Cody Rhodes looking to escape this cage match and walk away with a victory here this week in Fantasy Warfare. But the Nature Boy Ric Flair says, no sir, not again. I see you trying to leave, but you're not leaving. Flair once again working over the legs of Cody Rhodes, driving a knee right into the forehead. That had to hurt. That ought to leave a lump tomorrow. Flair with an abdominal stretch on Cody Rhodes. A tried and true classic. Nice knee to the face by Cody Rhodes, and now Cody is trying to escape the cage once more, but the Nature Boy is already stirring. He's already on his feet, and he clubs Cody in the back. Power bombs Cody away from the cage wall. Flair into the cover. We get 2, and we get 3. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, power bombing his way to victory here in this steel cage match, getting the 1-2-3 over the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. What a victory for the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, here this week in Fantasy Warfare, as you see some of the highlights that led to this moment, and the Nature Boy picking up the victory. Coming up next will be a last man standing collision of 2 bosses of the professional wrestling world. In one corner it will be Stan Hansen, and in the other it will be Gunther. Welcome back down to ringside, everybody. It is now time for what should be one hard-hitting affair under last man standing rules. Oh boy.
The following is a last man standing match. Making his way to the ring from Porter, Texas, weighing in at 370 pounds, Cowboy Stan Harrison.
Stan Hansen making his way out to the ring, a man who is legally blind when he wrestled in the world of professional wrestling. That's right, folks. The most devastating lariat in all of professional wrestling, in this commentator's opinion, was delivered by a man who was considered legally blind. It was often said that when Stan would throw his lariat, that he would throw it at what he thought was his opponent's head, and it was on his opponent not to die. What a tale to be told ahead of having a one-on-one encounter with somebody the likes of Stan Hansen. And hopefully his opponent has been told such a thing, but in the same breath, I would hope that somebody has told Stan Hansen about this man about to make his way out to the ring.
And his opponent, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 297 pounds, Gunther!
Stan Hansen might be one who can knock your head off your shoulders, but Gunther is a man who can chop your chest into raw hamburger and leave you with one less layer of skin. Hence why this is a highly anticipated dream match here this week on Fantasy Warfare. Gunther making his way out to the ring, representing Imperium, the Ring General. I can't say it as fancy as he does because I'm just a puny American. I'm not imposing and impressive like our friend Gunther here. Last man standing rules, for those of you who are not familiar with how that works, you got to keep your opponent down for a 10 count. Anything goes otherwise. You can fight wherever you want, you can use whatever you want, you can break every single rule in the book. There's no pinfalls, there's no submissions, there's no DQs, there's no countouts, there is knockouts. That's it. Keep your opponent down for a 10 count and you walk away the winner. Nice fall away slam by Stan Hansen on Gunther, the leader of Imperium. Found himself in some early trouble here. Stan Hansen reversing the Irish whip attempt and a nice club to the spine. Follows Gunther into the corner with a nice running clothesline. And the ring general rolls out to the floor. Stan Hansen up on the top rope, down with a double axe handle, giving Gunther no time to breathe on the floor. Stan Hansen looking to make quick work of the ring general and leave this last man standing match as the winner. Ouch. I'm not even sure what that was out of Stan Hansen, but it was devastating, and it drove Gunther right into the mat, damaging the arms. And now Stan Hansen is grabbing the ring steps. He tried to use them on Gunther, but Gunther said, no way. I'm going to kick those out of your hand. Oh, and there we go. There's a chop from Gunther to Stan Hansen. Up on the shoulders, nice power slam by Stan Hansen on Gunther on the floor. Still very early in this one. I'm not surprised that nobody has let the referee start counting any downtime yet. Hansen propped on the ropes by Gunther. Now it looks like Gunther is going to beat on the chest of Stan Hansen, and so it begins and so it continues. Driving the fist right into the sternum, and then a punch to the side of the head. Sends Stan Hansen crumbling back into the ring. Oh, nice overhead club right into the sternum of Cowboy Stan Hansen. I don't know what he was doing there. I really have no clue what Stan was going for there, but it was not pretty. I'll tell you that much. Nice boot to the face by Gunther as he goes back to the ring steps. Stan Hansen said, no way, no how. German suplex one. Lariat. Ripcord lariat by Stan Hansen, and that drops Gunther, and Stan Hansen is letting the referee do their thing.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Count of 7. We're at 8, and Gunther starts to stir. This one will continue here this week in Fantasy Warfare. Hansen locks up with Gunther, sends him off the ropes with an Irish whip. Nice power slam by the Cowboy. Back up to his feet goes. End of days by Stan Hansen. Wonder if he's a fan of Baron Corbin. Either way, nice execution on that one by the Cowboy as the referee begins their count on Gunther. He is down after the end of days. And that's it, everybody. 10 count wins it for Cowboy Stan Hansen as he picks up the victory here this week on Fantasy Warfare by defeating Gunther in a hard-hitting last man standing match.
Here is your winner.
Well, folks, we still have 2 matches left this week here to come, including coming up next a battle of recent WWE Hall of Fame inductees as 2023 Hall of Fame inductee, the Great Muta, goes one-on-one with 2022 inductee, The Undertaker. Welcome back down to ringside, everybody. 5th match of the week, our semi-main event. And what a contest it will be. A collision of WWE Hall of Famers, recent inductees of the Hall of Fame class. Here comes entry number 1. The hell is he wearing?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Tokyo, Japan. Weighing in at 230 pounds. The Great Muta.
Apparently the Great Muta is a great pirate here this week in Fantasy Warfare. Interesting choice there out of the Great Muta, but all the same, all fine, well, and good. As the Great Muta will seek to get a victory over the legendary Undertaker here this week. I've been told that while the Great Muta is coming out in some sort of special wear here, that the Undertaker is... Oh, I recognize that music. I say the Undertaker is going to be pulling out a retro look himself here this week, while Muta is going modern. The Undertaker is going to go retro, and, well, that's the music of the leader of the Ministry of Darkness. The Lord of Darkness himself, the Prince of Evil, the Phenom, the Undertaker.
And his opponent from Death Valley, weighing in at 330 pounds,
The Undertaker making his way into the ring in full Ministry of Darkness regalia. What a battle this ought to be. The man with the mist and the man with the darkness. Muta and Undertaker, our fifth match of the week here this week on Fantasy Warfare. Of course, our main event is still to come this week at the conclusion of this matchup, of course. Main event will see the current and reigning AEW World Women's Champion Jamie Hayter stepping into the ring with another WWE Hall of Famer, the ninth wonder of the world, Chyna. That will be our main event this week. And while The Undertaker finishes his entrance in this match, gets underway, of course, we need to yet again remind you, Monday Dark Match Day, this coming Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillVox. It will be the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant, going one-on-one with Yokozuna. That match took place earlier tonight before the television cameras were rolling here at the Fantasy Warfare Arena. I mean, the cameras were rolling, but the TV cameras weren't. So, you know, that's why it's a dark match. The TV cameras are special. It's where you can hear people talking. The regular cameras, it's just the crowd and some music. Anyway, we're going to cover by Muta. Only got a 1 count as Muta is already back on his feet with the Undertaker and quickly brings him back down to the mat with a nice neck breaker. Quick cover again by the Great Muta, only getting a 1 count on that exchange with the Undertaker. Irish whip sends Muta into the corner, and then he gets hit with that clothesline. Taker quickly stays on the offense, drops Muta again with a knee lift. Taker trying to stomp away at Muta, but Muta countering back up to his feet, hits a couple of nice shots to the skull. Irish whip sends the Phenom off the ropes, catches him with a nice neck breaker. Taker getting himself out to the apron, trying to catch a breather. And Muta sends him down to the floor, kind of almost his way of saying, you want a breather? I'll give you a little bit more. Hit the floor. Jumping arm breaker by the Great Muta on the Undertaker. Referee is counting away, though. Standard rules apply in this one, so there can be a count out. And of course, we have yet to experience a count out or disqualification finish here in Fantasy Warfare. And considering that throughout the first season of Fantasy Warfare, I think there was over 100 matches in season 1. We'll just say it that way. Oh, nice DDT. Nice DDT into the cover. And we only get a 2 count. But as I was saying, well over 100 matches in season 1, and technically at this point, this is our 11th match of season 2. 12th if you count the dark matches. No countouts, no disqualifications. That's a pretty good track record of not having any sort of non-finishes. Of course, we don't sit here and control that. That's up to our combatants. But the combatants and competitors here in Fantasy Warfare clearly care about decisive victories, because we have had nothing but decisive victories here throughout the early episodes of Fantasy Warfare in Season 1 and Season 2. Muta taking an extra moment to breathe before getting back in the ring, and the Undertaker meets him coming in with a nice scoop slam and then a leg drop. Taker down into the cover on Muta. Referee with the count. And that's all we get is 2 yet again. Uh-oh, choke slam time. Choke slam by the Undertaker on the Great Muta. And he's going for the tombstone now, but is he too close to the ropes? He is definitely too close to the ropes. Muta's leg was on the bottom rope, but the Undertaker recognizing that, pulling the Great Muta away into the cover. And we only get a count of 2 on that one. Taker, driving Muta down across the top rope. Taker is wrenching away at the skull of the Great Muta. Down into the cover goes the Undertaker. We're going to count of 1. We get 2. And that's all we get once more. As the Great Muta one more time kicks out. Undertaker tried to drop an elbow, but the Great Muta moves out of the way. Taker moves out of the way of the running attempt of the Great Muta. Nice pair of counters by both men. Collision in the center. Nice Pele kick by the Great Muta. Think it might have cracked the Undertaker open. Muta driving his knee into that open wound of the Undertaker. Muta propped up on the ropes. Taker meets him over there, using the ropes to choke out the Great Muta. The Undertaker giving his cutthroat to the audience here in Miami, Florida. What a week it has been here thus far in Fantasy Warfare as the Undertaker flies over the top rope. Still blows my mind that a man 6'10.5" can fly over the top rope like a cruiserweight. Referee reaching a count of 5 here as these 2 guys are brawling on the floor. They better be careful or they'll be the first count out in history. Nope. Muta breaks that count and ensures that, at least for now anyway, this one does not end in a count out. Referee resetting on the count and now back at a count of 2. Great Muta taking the legs out from underneath the Undertaker. Muta tried to throw Taker back into the ring, but it just didn't work out. Oh my goodness! Spinning tombstone on the floor by the Great Muta. That was like a regular tombstone, but super. Nice drop kick by the Great Muta on the floor. Irish whip sends the Undertaker back into the ring after a spinning tombstone on the floor. Muta into the cover. We get a count of 2 before the Undertaker gets that shoulder up. Taker hits Muta with a couple of body shots and then a nice knee lift takes down the 2023 Hall of Fame inductee. Nice rib breaker by The Undertaker. Oh, neck breaker. Kaboomski. Using the Kinshasa. Shinsuke Nakamura style. Inseguri. Kinshasa. Knee to the face. Referee counts. And we get a count of 3 as the Great Muta gets a successful pinfall victory over the Undertaker here this week in Fantasy Warfare. I can't believe it, folks. We've had a lot of shocking outcomes here this week. Ric Flair defeating Cody Rhodes in the steel cage. Stan Hansen dominating Gunther. The Great Muta defeating the Undertaker. So that leaves you to wonder what will happen coming up next in our main event, as it will be the AEW World Women's Champion Jamie Hayter going one-on-one with the 9th wonder of the world, Chyna. Our main event is coming up next. Here we go, folks. Main event time here on Fantasy Warfare. You hear the music of the AEW World Women's Champion, and here she comes.
Making her way to the ring from England.
Jamie Hayter making her way out to the ring for Fantasy Warfare here this week. The flames and the pyro going off. It's main event time. What a week it has been. We were just talking about it a few moments ago. The Great Muta with a surprise victory over The Undertaker. Stan Hansen absolutely dominating Gunther. Ric Flair picking up the victory over Cody Rhodes. Cactus Jack with a win over Eddie Kingston earlier tonight. And I'd say maybe the most surprising was our opening contest, in which FTR actually absolutely decimated and dominated the Outsiders en route to a victory, our opening contest this week.
And from Redondo Beach, California, the 9th wonder of the world, Chyna!
Chyna firing up the rockets to the crowd here in Miami, Florida, at the Fantasy Warfare Arena. Marching her way to the ring. Of course, Jamie Hayter in the real world is the AEW World Women's Champion, and while a decision was made to keep championships out of Season 2 of Fantasy Warfare, Chyna did end Season 1 with championship gold. Ironically enough, the AEW World Women's Championship that she successfully defended 3 different times after winning it to begin with. So it will be interesting to see if championships were still involved, if Chyna would retain her championship here tonight, or if we would see a new champion, but that's kind of a moot point, more of just kind of a thought you have in the back of your head. As our main event is officially underway this week here at Fantasy Warfare, Jamie Hayter and Chyna. As Jamie Hayter takes down Chyna with that springboard flying forearm. And a second one, does it one more time. Jamie down into the cover, quick on Chyna. We get an early 2 count out of the referee, but Chyna able to kick out at the count of 2. Nice short clothesline by Jamie Hayter, steps through. And a second one, but she's hanging on. And a third one. 3 nice short clotheslines by Jamie Hayter, but Chyna is quickly back up on her feet. Irish whip off the opposite side. Back elbow counter by Chyna. Chyna fighting out of the corner. Nice short arm reversal, shoulder block by Chyna, showing that power and strength to Jamie Hayter. Jamie takes a breather on the floor, but Chyna is following after her, and the action continues on the floor. And Jamie Hayter shows a bit of her own power as well, grabbing the whole body of Chyna and just tossing it at ringside. Driving her back first into the guardrail. Jamie Hayter is dominating the ninth wonder of the world right now here in our main event this week of Fantasy Warfare. Chyna sent across the ringside area as Jamie Hayter rolls into the ring, and she waits on the ninth wonder of the world. Oh, she missed that one completely. Jamie Hayter tried to take to the skies, but she misjudged the distance, and Chyna just dropped her on the floor with a devastating DDT. Referee continues their count as Chyna drops a devastating elbow right into the sternum of Jamie Hayter. Jamie thrown at ringside. Chyna now re-entering the ring as the referee had just crossed the count of 6. Jamie enters the ring as well. Springboard forearm. One more time. That's 3 times in this match. Hey, if it works, keep going back to it till it doesn't. Jamie Hayter now back up on her feet, waiting for Chyna. Oh, no, she's not. She is driving the sole of her boot into Chyna before kicking her right across the bridge of the nose. Oh, oh, oh. And nice takeover by Jamie Hayter. Hayter down into the cover. Only a count of 1. Chyna quickly kicks out of that one. A 4th time with that springboard elbow. I swear she must have heard me say, hey, if it keeps working, keep going back to it until it works, because she has done it 4 different times in this one. And now she's lighting Chyna up with clothesline after clothesline after clothesline. And there's a big one in the corner. Jamie stomping away at Chyna. Oof. Right into the chest again. Jamie rolling Chyna over into the cover. Referee with the count. And that's all we get is a count. Not a count of 3, but only a count of 2. Jamie Hayter almost couldn't believe that that wasn't enough to put away the ninth wonder of the world. It was a nice flurry of offense. Oh, brutal backbreaker. Could she be looking for that lariat? What? The big-time lariat by Jamie Hayter. This could be all for Chyna. Count of 2 and a count of 3. Jamie Hayter with a big-time victory here this week in our Fantasy Warfare main event. What a night it has been this week on Fantasy Warfare. I would like to thank you all for joining me for yet another episode of Fantasy Warfare. I have been your host, Bloody Bill Box. Be sure to join us this coming Monday for our bonus dark match, 6 p.m. Eastern. And of course, next Friday night, right here for another episode of Fantasy Warfare.